I thought what I'd start with actually is something we haven't shared officially before, and it's revised recently as to our vision and mission, which I know these are sort of sales and marketing type things, but as a company we've grown quite a lot, and we've gone through the process this year of sitting down with the team and discussing what our vision and our mission should be, and more importantly our values too. And I just want to share those with you. Those of you who know us know that we're all about basically electromechanical businesses. We want to produce the best solution we can for electromechanical businesses, so those people who repair, sell, service, or assemble electromechanical items. And we believe that basically those type of businesses, your type of businesses, are unique, and you deserve a solution that fits your needs. And that's what we're trying to create here with our EMiR platform. So we're constantly trying to improve and make that platform better for you. To achieve those goals, that mission and that vision, we've got quite a simple approach, but I think it's quite important to state it. I mean, we're very much looking at developing the people within our organisation. We have grown quite a lot, and people within the organisation need to grow and take on more responsibility and actually perform at a higher level. So we're constantly looking to develop our people, give them opportunities to do things like today. We've got people presenting today who wouldn't normally present at all. So it's quite nerve-wracking, even for someone who presents quite a lot. You know, I don't think I slept that much last night. So we've got a few people today doing it. So it's all good for their development, and for, you know, when they finish stuff like this, obviously it makes them feel they've achieved something and builds their confidence. Developing our products and service, as you said, that's very key. Everything we look to do is about improvement, whether that's what we do as a process or what we produce as software and solutions. So constantly looking to improve. We're also developing our partnerships. Our partnerships are very important to us because they now impact on a lot of the services we deliver. We have a hosted service partner. I'll come to this later, hosted services partner. We have app developers, and we have tablet-based software developers that we work with to enhance the EMiR software suite. And finally, and perhaps in some ways most importantly, developing our sales and marketing approach. Obviously, we've got to continue to attract the right kind of businesses to our software, and it always hurts us when someone in our industry buys another solution without having looked at EMiR first. And that I consider a failing on our part. So it's something we're always looking to try and improve and make sure that we are the most well-known name for the market-leading software in this industry. So we actually sat around as a group of people and we came up with these values. And again, it's not just a case of writing down some values. We actually went around, every person wrote down their own ideas, and we collated the most important ones, the most common ones. So obviously, we look to innovate. You know, that's very key. Everything we do is to try and improve the software that we have and make life easier for you. We work with partners, as I've said before, so we collaborate a lot with people, and we're looking to provide better solutions all the time. We're customer focused, so we do listen to what you have to say. Some of you might not believe me now I'm saying that, but we do listen to what you have to say, and we constantly try and work to improve the software. And we are importantly honest, okay? If we can't do something, we say we can't do it. If we can try and do it, we will try and do it, and so on. So it's very important that we give you honest answers, and if there is something wrong, we accept responsibility for that and move things on. Okay, so I've mentioned partners. This is part of our value to be collaborative. iDash, guys from iDash, can you just quickly wave? With iDash, they're our hosted server partners and help provide our EMiR Cloud and our remote backup services. They've become a more increasingly important partner, as I'm sure we've become an increasingly important customer over the last 3 years, because that side of the business has grown quite a lot. We provide a lot of EMiR Cloud services now. Confluent. There's the guys from Confluent. We've got Jake here, who's part of the major development team for Workshop Routing 2. So we'll be showing that later, and they've come all the way over from the US today. And then finally we've got Swipe and Tap. Emily from Swipe and Tap is here. Here's Emily. So Swipe and Tap are our mobile app developers, so Smart Site in particular, iOS and Android development. So we're working more closely, spending more and more money with these guys and making better solutions. Okay, so let's just reiterate the sort of growth of the business. Believe it or not, 2019 celebrates 25 years of an EMiR solution. So we've been around producing EMiR software for 25 years. There are two companies involved. It says at the top, Solutions in IT and FHG. Solutions in IT is the sales and marketing arm of the business, but now also provides all cloud services, dashboard development, and task center development. FHG are the core developers of the EMiR software, and they provide your support. So when you ring up for support, you'll be talking to the guys at FHG. For all intensive purposes, we are one business, but we run as two separate companies from a profit point of view, really. Certainly in our business, and John's business will reflect the same, our turnover has tripled over the last 5 years. So although we've been going quite a while running EMiR for 20 years, in the last 5 years we've actually pushed it and developed a much bigger solution and developed at the fastest rate we've ever developed. We now employ 15 staff between the two businesses, split between obviously software development, sales and marketing, and hosted services support. We service a greater range of the electromechanical industry. As of 5 years ago, we probably didn't do much with the assembly manufacture type of businesses, but now we actually have very decent functionality for assembly and manufacture, and that's the part of the business that's grown most rapidly. So yes, repair, sales, site work through to hire and assembly and manufacture. There's a much bigger range of EMiR software than there was 5 years ago, and an increased range of EMiR cloud services too. So this is the current suite of EMiR software. Okay, and as you can see, there's quite a lot of blocks to it. We do have some prospects in the room here, so many of them won't know too much about EMiR. So I just want to cover where we are with EMiR at the moment. As you can see, we have orange blocks and coloured blocks. The orange blocks are what we call modules. The coloured blocks are what we call extensions. Modules are the key building blocks of EMiR. They're the Windows-based software that EMiR runs on. Big block in the middle, the basic block, which is going to be renamed next year because we don't like basic anymore, but is essentially the key job costing, job management part of the system. So as mentioned before, that allows you to raise repair orders, sales orders, hire jobs, and build/manufacturing jobs. So that takes you through all your material and your labour costing, producing delivery notes, producing invoices, and that kind of thing. So it's the core part of the system. That interfaces to the stock module, obviously to keep track of your stock. So the stock module itself will allow you to keep track of part numbers, and basically has a provisioning module built in as well. So it can recommend to you any items that are below minimum stock and recommend them for purchase, and you can action those recommendations and instantly raise purchase orders. The stock module's improved a lot, like most of the system over the last few years, and we now have latest cost, weighted costs, it's got average pricing, and a lot of other features to do with bill of materials for those manufacturers that use those quite consistently, so multi-level bombs and things like that. Purchasing is quite unique in EMiR over most software in that you can raise purchase orders directly for a job in EMiR, and then those costs show immediately on the job when you've raised it. That's a big advantage over a lot of systems where you just raise a general order and you have to try and reconcile the costs later on. So with EMiR, we have quite a big recommendation system, as I mentioned, but also with sales order processing, it's very, very, very simple to click create PO, and it'll let you buy everything you don't currently have in stock and buy them to whichever suppliers you need to. Obviously, that also tracks goods coming in, rejection of goods, supplier performance, that kind of thing. The quoting system allows you to create 3 template-based quotes. So you've got a template for repair, sales, and hire. And you've also got file-based quotes in there, so you can use Word or Excel to create your own quote layouts. And obviously, that gives you the facility to track which quotes need doing, what's outstanding, what's need chasing, all that kind of stuff. Finance module, obviously had some enhancements recently for making tax digital and the likes. That's a full finance system, profit and loss, balance sheet, trial balance, and that basically means you can run all your accounts from within the same software. And obviously that integrated approach gives you quite a lot of advantages in that you're only entering data once. We've then got asset management. So for companies that repair and service items, asset management allows you to keep track, go on site, take a list of all the assets on a customer site, and then when you repair and service those, you can keep the history together under one asset management number. So when a customer says to you how many times you've had that asset in, you can say, we had it in 3 times, these are the 3 jobs, this is what we did. So it's quite a good facility to add for those people who are doing a lot of repair and servicing. That links to webcals, the red block above. So if you want your customers to see their own assets and what you've done to them, you can give them access via webcals. And it's a read-only access with limited information. You wouldn't show them job costing and the like. If we come down to the bottom here, we'll be talking a lot about workshop routing later, but workshop routing is a tablet-based system all about essentially taking a tablet into the workshop, booking a job into the system, raising it in EMiR from the tablet essentially, and then basically going through an inspection and assembly process and creating reports of those inspections and assembly as you fill in the details on the tablet. Again, it all links to EMiR, so you go to EMiR, you'll find those reports, you'll find photos, you'll find everything you've done to that job as well. Time and attendance, quite well used section of the system, time and attendance. It's basically live time recording, so engineers in the workshop can scan their badge, scan a job number, and scan the operation they're currently working on. As they change job number or operation, the time will stop and be saved against the job. And Annette's laughing because, why are you laughing, Annette? Okay, yes, that's true. So basically, yes, it will basically save the time against the job, so you can see live times as they happen. You can also have a live time picture of what's in the workshop, so you can see which engineer is working on which job at any particular time and how long they've been working on it for. Web Job Tracker is a bit similar to webcals, but Web Job Tracker allows you to give customers access to their jobs via contact level access. So on each job, you've got a customer contact. If you give that customer contact a login, they can actually go to Web Job Tracker and they can see all the jobs that are currently in your workshop based where they're the customer contact. And it'll show how far through it is. You know, you'll have a nice status bar. It says this is 70% complete. We expect it back next Wednesday, that kind of thing. So it can cut out a lot of customer service queries because essentially they can inquire themselves and find out that key information. Smart Site, again, we'll be covering later, directly after this. But essentially, it's our app for site engineering, although you can use it also in the workshop. And essentially, it gives the engineer a list of jobs and allows them to go out on site, record materials, labour, expenses, get customer sign-off, all that kind of thing. So anything they would need to do on site, basically making it paperless and bringing that paper and those reports back into the office for you. Labour scheduling allows you to schedule both your employees and resources, so you can see how busy they are, you can see which jobs they need to work on, and you can drag them onto those jobs and basically then allocate them to that job, which it also then reflects in Smart Site as well if you're using the two together. So it's a way of basically looking after your employees and your calendar and seeing how busy and utilised they are. Then we've got CRM, which stands for Customer Relationship Management. CRM essentially is a web-based tool that basically takes the same information from EMiR, so the jobs, the quotes, all that kind of information, customers, so you're only entering the data once, and gives you in a format that you can find and inquire on from wherever you are because it's web-based. So we'll be having a look at that later. Steve will be doing version 8 for you in a short while. The two big endpoints here, dashboards were released a couple of years ago, and they basically provide visual information, more visual information on what's happening within the business. So you can see quite easily the key indicators that you need as to how your business is performing. Constantly developing, it's written in Power BI. So it's sort of a community-based development tool. You can share development, share tools. It's quite a nice way to do things, very powerful as well. Allows you to connect to a whole range of data sources. And with Task Center is used in dashboards in some cases, particularly with finance, but it's also a way of automating any other task that you want to. So for example, with Task Center, you can send an alert to say this invoice has now gone over 60 days old to your credit controller, or you could send that message directly to a customer if you wanted to. So you could do automatic debt chasing and things like that. So we can schedule reports, send reports round, just action any kind of alerts you want. So again, another important automation tool as we move forward with EMiR that I'm sure will get used more and more. Just briefly, wanted to show you that as to how we were in 2015 compared to how we are now. So you can see quite a substantial change. There was no workshop routing then. We didn't have a Smart Site application. It was a sort of web-based PDA tool. CRM had just been released and is now on version 8. And we didn't have dashboards or Task Center either. So as I mentioned before, EMiR is growing at the fastest rate it's ever grown. And I think that's just quite a nice thing to see. I was quite shocked by it myself. Okay, so some of the recent changes that we've done this year. We've obviously done new marketing, as you can see. It's a new flat 2D approach. We're currently completing a new look from EMiR Professional. I'll show you that in a little while as well. So we've sort of done a bit of a redesign on the skin of EMiR Professional. CRM's now been completely rebranded, colours changed, a new look for that as well. Workshop routing completely redesigned for version 2. And Smart Site has also had a major new release. And the dashboard suite now covers far more areas of EMiR. We've also created some custom dashboard solutions for certain businesses, so they can run their whole management pack straight out of dashboards now, without having to create lots of reports out of EMiR and compile them themselves. So again, very powerful tool.